Yo, Food Service Power Plant Network. What is up? Wednesday night, we are here for our weekly conversation, and tonight will not disappoint. There's zero chance that you don't know our guest tonight, Rich Malachy. He, frankly, I think he's kind of the pioneer in food service in terms of getting your personal brand out there, teaching the industry how to build who you are, get your message, speak in a different way, etc. He's the only person I know who's ever successfully, and I mean, when I say successfully, I mean like legit, pulled off his own conference. Not an association conference or a buying group. It was the Fed Nation Teaching This Stuff conference, which I heard was incredible about, I think, a year ago now. I got to meet him a year ago at the MOPSI conference. I went up to him, I shook his hand, and I said, hey, thanks for everything you're doing. Love to learn more about what you're doing. And through COVID, I've gotten to know him. He's become a friend, and we bounce ideas off each other, and we connect. I've been really grateful for it. You are going to love tonight's conversation with Rich Malachy of Malachy Parts and Service and the Fed Nation. So, without further ado, now, by the way, if you have a question, throw the question in the group. You're totally welcome to type it in. You can ask Rich anything. He is an open book. If you want to, go to StreamYard/Facebook, and you can just register your name so that we'll see your name as it pops up. If not, we'll look on our phones. We'll figure it out. And, we're excited to do this. Let me find him. Yes!
Yo! What is going on?
What's up, Rich? How are you, brother?
Living the dream every day. I
believe you are. You're a big dreamer, aren't you? I am
a dreamer. I dream a lot. Jumped all through grammar school and high school.
This wasn't on our questions we talked about ahead of time, but did you learn how to dream somewhere? Like, did someone encourage you? Like, you got to dream big. You got to, don't settle. Was there a voice that spoke that into you?
And you're bringing this up, and the first thing that comes to mind is when I was very young. I was probably 5, 6, 7 years old, and we used to live in this really, really small apartment building, and we didn't even have a refrigerator or freezer. That was the fire escape. This is back in the mid to late 80s, and me and my mom would lay in bed and we would dream. We would dream of all the things that we wanted to have one day. From not just the biggest things. I'm 6, 7 years old. Just from the things that maybe some may take for granted, even might take for granted now. The pool, the backyard, having a car, and all these different things. Like, we're going to have these things one day. And those were small little dreams as 5, 6 years old that me and my mother used to lay there in bed and dream about all these things. So she definitely started me being a dreamer.
What a gift, man. That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so most of our industry knows you. I knew you before you and I ever met, a long time before we met, because you were putting yourself out there in a really unique way.
Yeah.
And fill us in on your career. Like, how did you are the CEO of a service company in New Jersey and New York, correct? Malachy Parts and Service.
That's my first duty and job. Yeah.
Okay, so you're running that. We're going to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
You are the creator and founder of the Fed Nation, yes?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I love it. You've got the hat on. I love the message. So just tell us kind of how'd you get to where we are today?
We'll talk about this a little bit later, but I mean, it all goes back to my father. Even though, and we'll talk, I haven't spoke to my father in some years now for various reasons that I'll get into some of those things, but it really comes back to my dad. Never letting me settle, never letting me sit around, just even from an early age, 10, 11, 12 years old in the summers, 7 a.m., rip the covers off, get up. Why? Go help your mother. All right. So, starting off like that, but, when you go back, really for me out of high school in 1999, just getting off the bus, walking down the block to the building that we're still in today, and putting parts on shelves and doing whatever I had to do, breaking down boxes and all this simple stuff. And, just going through all the motions of what a service business is. I personally, for me, and I did it for a little stint, being a technician, working with your hands, that is a skill, that's a craft, that's a talent. And when you work really hard at that, you can get really good at it. I've seen it. I've seen young guys come up over the last decade. For me, that wasn't really where my heart was. So, going after doing some PMs, installs, back into the building, learned operations. Back in the day, there was no parts towns. There was no online stuff in 2000 and all that. So we had walls full of parts books. And, I know my father knew all parts and the part numbers. Say Vulcan convection oven. I have a customer on the phone. Hey, Dad, what's the control board part number? I want to go grab it. So, and I'm sitting there at the desk. He says, are your legs broken? He said, get up and figure it out. So I had to get up, and I'm flipping through pages. Time is passing, and doing that for years, I learned the parts. We're in that. Then I'm in the service manager position, fast forward, putting my own team together, and, being able to, focus on the people. People are first. And Richard Branson always said that's his big thing. If you take care of your employees, they'll take care of your customers. I believe that 1,000%. Mm-hmm. So that's really the quick story of how I got here. It all really boils down to my dad giving me this gift and teaching me what it takes to build.
Oh, buddy. I love it. I too got into food service through my dad. He had a rep firm, and I called him one day when I was a history teacher, said, hey, what do you think? Can I try this thing? And that's, it's funny how many of us fall into it via that. I remember just polishing flatware when I was 8 for a summer job, Okay. Who's this? Who is this? Let's see who this is. Let me see if I can see. Can you tell who that is?
It just says Facebook user, it looks like.
Yeah, I can. When I look on my phone, I can usually tell it's live now, but that's okay. We'll come back and we'll find it later. But hi.
Yeah.
We think you're great too. Is whoever you are, we think you're great too. Just know that.
You're amazing.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so tell us what's going on with service right now in the pandemic, generally speaking. There's SFESA is your organization, the association, right, that oversees service companies, et cetera. And you've got a president, the gentleman, I think he's in Philly, right?
He is. Kirby Mallon.
Kirby Mallon. Okay. Hi, Kirby.
Yep.
I have a feeling in terms of the service agency, I'll bet most of our industry, when they think of it, they think of you, if I were to guess, because your face is talking about service all the time. You're always on LinkedIn, Facebook. Sure. You're talking about it. You're very public, which is great. So fill us in on what's going on. How is service doing amidst everything right now?
Well, personally, I'll say for us, service, it's been a blessing. We're very grateful here in New Jersey because you see a lot of horror stories of a lot of places closing down for good. For us, early on in the pandemic, we did have to furlough. So, March, April, we were kind of furloughed. I still had about 3 technicians running on emergency stuff because we handle a lot of convenience stores, C-stores, supermarkets, and national chains, which all just kept pumping. They kept going. So that kept us going. And as things rolled along, indoor dining came back a little bit, and we were able to bring all of our guys back by June. So personally for us, yes. Personally awesome. For us, we're rolling. Numbers down, absolutely. Numbers are down. And I told everybody that we finally had an in-person meeting in October. I'm a very big meeting guy as far as getting people in a room at least 3-4 times a year, whole company. And I just wanted them to know what the company and what the business actually looks like on paper, because I know that they could do their job better that way. Years ago, my dad didn't want to share anything. I shared just about everything. So letting them know, listen, we're here, we're working, everyone's got 40 hours. Here's what the numbers look like last year. Here's what we actually projected before we all got smashed in the face by COVID. Here's what we're looking at now. And we're holding our own. So no one have their head down. We're going to roll into 2021 hard.
Good for you.
Yeah.
How, for all of us in different parts of the industry, the game's going to change a little bit because of these changes. What trends do you see on the service side? Like, where do you see that going, whether it's different ways you're adding value? What are you seeing?
Well, listen, right now, I think most of the country is seeing the same thing as far as, you have to wear your PPE. You have to have your mask. You have to have your sanitizers. You have to make sure that people are being taken care of properly. If a guy comes down with the sniffles or anything, we've had guys that have to go get COVID tests. And we can't let them back on the road until we know that they're 100%. So, as far as that goes, I think there's going to be much more awareness on the on the safety and the health of all people. All companies are going to do that, not just the service industry. And then, when you look at service side, planned maintenance and PMs have always been a big piece to the puzzle for us. More so for us, we added more PMs last year. I think during the pandemic, and I have a new sales manager. She brought in at least 20 new PM contracts.
Wow.
So, and listen, we have some, but she's really turning the page for us and bringing some stuff here. So I think people are really understanding sanitization and the scaling and keeping the equipment cleaner than ever.
Yeah. It's
got to be paid attention to. It's got to be worked into your budgets for R&M. So, I mean, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that. And I think as the time unfolds, we're going to get back to the regular hustle bustle to an extent. I don't think we'll ever be. I think you're still going to be seeing people wearing masks all the time, but I think the rest will unfold after the world truly opens back up.
Well, good. I hope you're right. I'm right there with you. This is our friend Evan Tyler. Evan, love you, buddy. Grateful for you. That was Ben earlier. Ben Kalan. That's so rad. What's up, brother Ben? Great to see you.
Big Ben. What's going on?
Okay. Tell us about. I love Fed Nation. That's how I probably personally knew you first, was what you were doing there, building that brand, offering to organizations just tools and ideas and smarter ways to build your brand digitally. Tell us, how did this happen? How did this idea come to you? And you think, you know what, I'm going to offer this to people and start educating and, raising us all up with greater content.
So Fed Nation, it turned into something completely different than what I originally really started it for. But I will say I'm a very big fan and believer in Gary Vee and the school of Gary Vee. And I watched him for many years, and he always kept talking about building community around your brand, around your business. And he always talked about Facebook groups and making sure you're bringing those people where you are, so you have more of a spotlight on you and you're able to really, put your content out, and it's people that want to be there. So that's kind of what this was all about, just bringing people around my community to build my brand, and hopefully, ultimately, at the end of the day, bring me in new relationships that might bring about new opportunities and continue to be able to build my business. So that was kind of the gist of it. It turned into something in May 2019 at NRA. I put together a dinner. I can't even believe this. This is all very surreal when I'm talking about it, because it's just amazing. But in Chicago, at dinner, I had Roger Smelser came. We had some reps. Epicinca Ferry came. Hobart was in the room. We had a lot of diverse people, from manufacturers to service to reps to dealers, consultants. So many people. And one of the big things I decided that Fed Nation could be and will be is to promote the industry as a whole. There is such a gap coming. You see it from all the other trades, electrical, plumbing, all these things that are going to be so hard to find in the next decade or two, as all these men and women go into retirement. Yeah. So I feel maybe this is our obligation to let these young kids know, go to high schools and talk about it, put as much content as we can on our feeds. The more we all do it, the louder it gets. So if we could do this collectively, one of the guys from Hobart, he said, how the hell do we make this go viral? I said, together. But everybody has to be consistent. It can't just be me talking every day. We all have to get consistent and talking and engaging and posting video, written, no matter audio, all the forms of content that has to be done on a daily basis. So this was beginning that. We want to get people fired up to understand that your brand matters more than ever. Brand matters more than ever. Relationships. Tell me what you know. I'll tell you who I know every single time. And that's what we're building. We're building a network of people that are going to be able to do business together. They're going to be able to introduce people. So we're connecting. It's a connect the dot kind of thing. That's another thing that Fed Nation is. It's also going to be events to promote different pieces of the puzzle that we're trying to do. We're trying to promote women in the industry. So the Women's Fed Powerment event, we were going to put that on before the pandemic happened, and we were going to look to get some manufacturers involved. We were going to get some really amazing women from the industry to get on stage and talk, put some panels together, and even get I was going to see if Lincoln Tech, which is a local trade school there, to get some of the women in their programs there so they can meet other women that have been there and done that, to see when you see something, it makes it real.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just about being a technician, because maybe that's what you want to do. But maybe 20 years down the line, you want to run a service department. Now you want to run a parts department. There's no dead ends in this industry. You could keep going up. So we want to promote that. We want to show that through the women's empowerment. And then there's going to be a biannual event. So we're going to be putting on events, meetups, parties. We're going to be doing everything. We're going to make this thing so noisy, connect people, and bring opportunity to others. That's a big piece.
Preach. Okay, we've got some great stuff. Sandy, one of our friends, says, yes, we need to attract talent to the industry. Totally agree. And there's been a really great emphasis amongst, I think, all the 5 families on garnering young talent, new talent, and really focusing on that. I remember when I was on MOPSI, we had the star, oh my gosh, I forget. I wasn't on that committee, but they're focusing on individuals under 40. How do we get people in, get people excited about being in food service?
Yes. So true.
Shannon says, together, love it. Together it's hard to lose with the word together right now, right? I mean, the word together in community resonates everywhere you go, because we all want connection right now.
It's true.
Kevin, our brother, Rich did an incredible job on the first FEDD event. Oh, love it. I wish I was there.
Yes, Kevin, thank you. He was one of our sponsors, so go check out KCL CAD. They do an amazing job for consultants, design, and all that. So gotta go check out Kevin.
KCL is amazing and has done such a great job serving the industry. Here is a great question. By the way, someone said, who was this? Hey, Ben. Ben did some install work this week. Way to go, Ben. Shout out to Ben. Love it. Here's a great question. This is from Charlie. Oh, not that one. Side note, what do you want and Rich, you kind of talked about it, but the industry, I mean, we're going to be brought together. We're going to pump up the energy by all learning how to tell our stories more. Anything else you want the industry to really pull out of it?
Yes. And I'll say this. What do we want the industry to gain from it? Unity. So I spoke with Allison, Cody, the director of MOPSI, of course. We had Heather Price, who was the executive director at Cefesa there. We had a representative from FCSI in the room. The only families we didn't have there was NAFM and FEDD. We're going to make that happen next time. But what I see FEDD is also as a conduit to the connecting of all the major associations. So there's always talk sometimes that comes by my way. Like, are you trying to be Cefesa? Are you trying to be? No, I want to be a partner to Cefesa. And I even said, because I had a conversation with Kirby, who's, the new president, as we mentioned, of Cefesa. Yeah. He called me at the end of the year, and we were talking about some different things, and he was kind of curious about that. So when I mentioned, I also said, by the way, I'm responsible for at least 3 or 4 new members in Cefesa, so I want my 10% cut. So
I hope the check shows up.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, we're a conduit. We want to bring it together. We talked a lot about speaking the same language at the very first summit that went on. This is where I want to bring the people to talk the same language openly, freely, never bashing other manufacturers or companies or It's not about. Let's just focus on the issues. We all know who we are, and then we can get somewhere. So that's my hopes.
I love it. There is, hold on here. Man, there's a lot of comments. Who is this? Ben. Yes, he did. I can't wait to see the second one. I'm sure that's talking about your conference. Way to stinking go, man. As far as I'm concerned, you pulled off something that seems impossible. And I love it. You did it and you crushed it. And, you book a hotel, you get a room. I mean, all the things involved in that and the risk that goes on the line for that. Kudos to you, my friend.
Thank you. And I will say this too, from that dinner in May, we did it in that next February. So less than a year we put this together. And honestly, I'm still blown away. I'm still grateful. I'm still thankful to the sponsors. I can't believe these people believed in me. They believed in the cause. So I had to give them everything I got, and I did. I brought everything to the table. We had some amazing speakers. And hopefully we're going to do the next one next year, 2022, possibly near you, maybe in Arizona.
Oh, awesome. I will find a way to be there. JR is on. What is up, JR?
JR.
And JR, I'm going to use JR's kind of comment question as a little teaser. I miss weekend karaoke, Rich. Well, guess what, JR? Tonight may or may not be your night, my friend. Just saying. Sandy's loving it. Sounds like a party. I heard it was awesome. What's this question? Who wants to see a show called Jason Rich? Who is that? I don't know who that is, but that is awesome. Oh, Taz, love it. If there were, here's what I was thinking today. I was like, if there were a celebrity alter ego for each of us, who would those alter egos be? I don't totally know, but I think it'd be fun. Be fun. Panels were great at the conference.
Oh, nice.
Love it. That is, that's Evan. Evan, love it.
Oh, and thanks, Evan.
Quentin, this has needed to happen for years. Everyone needs to sit at the same table, all be on the same page.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Bringing people together. The 5 families have done a great job. You've done a great job, Rich, and you're going to be able to support all of them and make them all rise up better together and tell that story and, raise that energy to your point. Oh my gosh, the energy is hopping tonight. This is awesome.
It is.
Love it. Okay. What do you do in the moments that it's tough? We all got tough stuff. In the moments you wake up, you're down, you're discouraged, you find yourself lacking energy. Give us a go-to for Rich Malachy. How do you pump yourself up, lift yourself up, put yourself in a different state?
First, we pour some of this.
Oh, is that bourbon?
I'm just kidding. This actually was a gift from Taz. Oh, thank you, Taz.
Oh, way to go, Taz. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, my go-to when I'm down or when I'm not really in the groove. Maybe years ago I would have said something else, but since the pandemic, honestly, we've gotten closer, my family and I, closer with my sister and my nephews and going down there. So that has been something, especially over the holidays. We really took some time to stay down there, spent a couple of nights down at my mom's. Just, we're all getting older, and I want to make sure that I don't miss more moments, because I sometimes we talked about this. The business consumes you, and you just keep putting things off, and like I gotta be here, I gotta do this. So family time has been more important than ever for me. Getting back to working out again. I had a strong relationship for the better part of 12, 13 years where I was religious, sometimes twice a day, cardio, working out. The last few years I lost that. Just brought it back right here in the pandemic. And with Jenny, who you guys have probably seen on karaoke, my girlfriend who's over there right now.
Yo, Jenny.
We're cooking, we're doing, we go out to eat, we do things, we just get away from everybody. Just simple, basic things, nothing crazy.
Well, it all seems pretty healthy and life-giving to me. Connecting with family, getting grounded by doing cooking. That's been a great thing for us in the house, learning new recipes, etc. It's really something that grounds me. I don't know what it is.
It's very satisfying, especially since we got this new air fryer. We love this thing. Have you cooked in an air fryer yet?
No.
Oh, you got to get one.
Okay.
You got to get one. It's
going on the list.
Yes.
It actually came up the other night. We did dumplings and we fried them just in our frying pan. And someone was like, what about, I think Shannon was like, what about the air fryer?
Yes.
We got to try it.
Yes.
Geraldine is on. Hi, Geraldine. It's going back and forth. The love is going back and forth with Geraldine and Taz. I love it. We're all about perseverance, right? We're all about developing strength. And give me a challenge in your life that you worked through, that when you got out on the other side, as you're in the midst of it and you recognize, you know what, I'm still going, increased your sense of confidence, taught you that, you know what, I've got more than I thought I did. I've got what it takes. Was there a moment or an experience in your life?
I won't say there was anything like majorly earth-shattering. A lot of stuff really, and people that are in family businesses probably understand this, you being one of them. A lot of stuff with my dad growing up. And to this day, right now, at this point in my life, I wish we had a relationship more than ever, because things are starting to come full circle and starting to fall into place. And I'm growing up. I'm almost 40, So, I would say that some of the challenges were the last time this was back in 2012. So I probably quit and got fired 20 times over the course of our relationship. So this last time that I was gone, this was back in 2011. I left for the year. My father's guy that was running service for him ended up having a massive heart attack. So that was early 2012. And my mother calls me and said, "Hey, listen, so-and-so had a heart attack. Dad's by himself up there with only with only this person, and we need you." I said, "Okay." I said, I'll be over this afternoon. So I went over there. We sat down. And it was, by the way, the fights that we had, it's never about money. I never wanted more money. Whatever he gave me is what I believed I deserved. That's it. I never asked for $1. This wasn't about money why I left. This was about trust. This was about him looking at me like an adult and understanding that I'm capable without being breathed on 24/7 and making me feel like I'm crazy. So we sat down, we hashed that out. And since 2012 came about, that was really the beginning of me finding myself. And when you fast forward, I would say to probably 2015, and I'll share this. My father was breathing down my neck again. He put cameras in the office, calling every 5 seconds. Why aren't you moving? Why aren't you doing it? Well, when you're sitting here typing and you're doing things on a phone, it looks like you're not moving, Dad. So as this is all boiling down, you got technicians, I kind of just shut down. Okay, it was so much. And I left. And I went and I flew down to Miami without telling anybody. And I went down there for a week and I cleared my head. And I came back and my sister stepped in with Geraldine, who's watching, and they took over my service board. And they took over a lot of things that I was having a hard time, unfortunately, like my dad, delegating. I was becoming him. And they helped me with that process. That was my over the hump thing. And then this is a family matter, but with my mother and my father, they had problems. There were things going on. And my mother endured a lot for years. And I mentioned that to you, the sacrifices that she made for me to be here right now talking to you and who I am. It's her sacrifices, besides what my dad did, is why I'm here. She endured a lot with that man. Things that I maybe in my book. Stay tuned for the book. So things happened. There was divorce. There was succession plans. That journey to getting a succession plan done while dealing with a father that just was angry, and I whether he liked me or didn't like me, I did it all for him. I did it for my family. I did it for the business. We got the succession plan done before the divorce. This way it wasn't lumped in. Nobody had to lose anything. I am their retirement now. So my success is their retirement. That's another reason why I have to work so hard every day. That's why I have to keep going. That's why I have to build and do things I never did before. Those were kind of things that game changed it for me, getting to this point today and just putting good people around me. I got good people.
Rich, well, first, thanks for sharing your story as honestly as you are. And family businesses are hard at times, for sure.
Yeah, they are.
Do you have a hope for your relationship with your dad?
Yeah, I hope one day, he's 70 now. So, I hope one day in the next decade or so, before it's too late, that, there's some kind of turning point. My heart and my world is open. He does have some underlying issues, which is the reason that we're here and these things are happening, because, just as anybody, we love you, but we're not going to love you this way. So you got to go. You have to, we can't be a part of your life right now. So whatever he has to do to get past all the stuff that he's got going on, we've done everything we can, but hey, listen, maybe by some prayers and some hope, we'll find our way back to some kind of relationship. I would love for him to come back to the building and see all the changes and see the technology that we've put in place and see FEDD Nation and show him the power plant network and let him see what's going on in the industry, how things are beginning to change and shift. And just to hear him say, I'm proud of you. And
Yeah,
That's it.
that's I'm gonna say that's pretty darn beautiful. We'll send some good thoughts and vibes your way for that to happen, brother. And um, I would say, we all have challenges and we all have beauty and strength. And
Yeah.
it sounds like the gifts of him grinding and working hard and being willing to build something, that those good things reside in you. It's easy to see. And
Yeah.
I hope those desires for him to see the ways you've built, the ways you've become, you're not just relevant, Rich. You're beyond relevant at this point, right? You're leading the way in the industry, and I hope he gets the chance to see that. And just know, from all of us, we're proud of you.
Thank you.
Who's this? I don't know who this is. This is Taz. Love that you told the story. Lost my dad in 2012. The relationship is part of your legacy and is for some of the hardest hurdle they ever jumped. Yeah, it is a part of the legacy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And one of the greatest gifts, I think, is being able to look back. I think to some degree, some level of maturity looks like wherever we are, being able to look back at the gifts in our life, the good things and the really hard, sucky things, and being able to be grateful for it all in some way. And and I think you're finding ways to do that. This is Chris, our brother Chris. Very challenging. Proud of you. But yeah, always be looking for the best in people. Heck yeah. I mean,
thanks, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, love it, buddy. We talk about it all the time. You are the sum of the people you surround yourself with, right? Jim Rohn said that. You're the sum of the 5 people. So surround yourself with people who see hope and are optimistic and are strong and encourage. They inflate as opposed to deflate. And you will become that simply 100%. By osmosis.
It's truth.
Thanks for being sharing and being vulnerable, Rich. Oh, that's Shannon. Babe, love it.
Shannon, my pleasure.
This is Big Mike Klosterman in Kansas City. He's giving you a fist bump, Rich, for your story and your power. And that's a brother loving a brother right there. Geraldine. Oh, dude, I'm gonna start crying right now.
I don't want to cry.
Oh, it's okay. We can let it happen. He is the best leader, boss, and friend. This is Geraldine too. Heart of gold. It's evident, isn't it? It's easy to see, friends. Rich, you're bringing it, brother. I think I know the answer to this next question based on what you've said. Your greatest encourager. Who is the person that that all along the way fought for you, said, Rich, you are good enough, you are strong enough, you can frickin' do this, you can be anything you want?
Well, I mean, it's cliche. Most people are going to say their mom, but my mother, and she saw this, and she would always tell me, I saw the same thing in your dad. That's why I stuck with him, and I believed him when we had nothing, and he told me he was going to make something of himself, and he did it. And she would tell me all the time. She said, you have the same thing in you. So whatever you're doing, you got to keep doing it, keep building. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get better. So yeah, of course, my mother. And then I have really good friends that I grew up with from 3rd grade. We bust each other's chops all the time, but when the chips are down and when things are going crazy, we have each other's backs. They're always there to let me know that you got this. So I mean that's about as good as it gets. And then I have Jenny here. I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't say Jenny. Jenny's over here. She reposted today on Instagram a little snippet that she's proud of me. So she's encouraging me.
Heck yeah, Jenny. I love that you guys are together supporting one another. Quentin's doing some tearing up over there. The man, Rich.
I'm trying. I'm holding it in.
You are the man, Rich. Feel it, own it, absorb it, welcome it. How do you define what does success look like for you?
So I'm not driven by money. Of course, and I'm not here. I'm also not going to sit here like I'm some good old boy. No, who cares about money? Obviously, money is a necessity and oxygen to business and life. We need it, but I'm not driven. I don't wake up every day chasing, a $10,000 quote or whatever it might be. I wake up every day wanting to better the people around me. Quite honestly, and Geraldine is, if she's still watching, we talk about that. We've been talking about it a lot this week. it warms my heart. It makes me, there is no better high. There's no money or anything in the world than to see someone that started with you go from here to here to here. And you know that they did the work, but you were able to give them opportunity. You could see something in these people, and to watch them be able to go from having nothing to having a car to having a home. Giving and leading people to being better than where when they started before they got here and became part of this Malachy family. That's everything for me. So,
oh, brother, I love it.
And I'm sad, and I just want to make this be known because, sometimes people say all these things, and can I curse?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so it's this is not bullshit. This is me, and the people that are closest to me know it. And I always hope, when I'm putting out content, that it's coming across authentic and genuine, because this is me. So, and if I could urge anybody that's watching, just be good to people. Be good. If you're especially if you're in a management or leadership position, be good to people. They're looking to you. Don't disappoint them. Don't let them down. So
it's so funny because when we talk about success with anyone we've interviewed on these weekly shows in the Power Plant Network, the themes always are the same. It is always give. It is always lift people up. It is always educate and help someone get from point A to point B. And you're no different. There's, wow, what do we got going on here? Hey, Rich, how do you celebrate success with your team? What do you do to bring them into the process? Great question. That was Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. So celebrating success with the team, for me, it's really just inclusion and everything, like I mentioned, even with something as maybe that people are not thinking about, numbers. Bringing the whole company in 4 times a year, big breakfast, and before we even do anything, we're just hanging out. We're having coffee. We're having our breakfast, and we're becoming closer to each other. And I let them in on everything. Once that meeting gets started, I let them in on everything. All of the things that I have planned, all the things that we've done, all the numbers. So the inclusion is absolutely a way to celebrate success with your team, because when you're doing good, they're part of it. They need to know what they're doing. They need to know how amazing that this company is being developed because of you. So that's one way. Before the pandemic started, I would do something twice a year. So we have the big Christmas party. This past one, I still had a Christmas party in person. Not everybody came. I got a comedian. I have a DJ. We have a buffet. We have everything. I give out awards. I give out gift cards, dozen gift cards, Home Depot, all different places. We give out gift baskets, tools. Everybody leaves with something. Ugly sweater party this year. Previous year, we were down at one of the minor league baseball teams, so we get everybody down there. And this is where I tell you, bring your family, bring the kids, bring everybody. So these are some things that we do, and there's a lot more things that we're going to be developing post COVID, and I'll definitely probably share that over on my Malachy Cares pages. So
love it. Charlie, great question. Kathy's this is Kathy Langlois with Zumba Group. Actually, hold on here. She says, makes me feel better. This is, I think, your curse word for saying asshat in her talk with us. That was an awesome moment, Kathy. I didn't necessarily do it. I loved it. It was great. Here's the deal. You have to be authentic, right? And and everyone's got a different, particularly when it comes to language. I'm a big believer that words matter, and that when I say the word can't, as opposed to won't, that I'm giving my power away. And I'm always really careful in the group because there's people all over the country and some in different parts of the world with different sensibilities to language. But there are moments where a 4-letter word is the most honest way to translate your experience, right? And oftentimes the words we use, it's the spirit behind them. And so you got to be you, and we got to be authentic. And Kathy, yes. I love it. That moment cracked me up. It was great. Who is this? This is Wade. I love it. Wade Caller's on. Wade, by the way, great interview with Tara. I watched that this morning. It was awesome. Rich, how can food service consultants have a direct impact in the digital disruption?
So this is important because this is where I think the conduit that we were talking about of understanding each other's positions and roles and how we all play a part in the industry. When it comes to consultants, obviously I know what a consultant is, but I don't understand your world, quite honestly. I think that is your best tool right now. What is going on in a food service and consultants world on a daily basis? What are the struggles? What are the amazing things? What are the ups and downs of what's happening behind the scenes? Customers, when you're visiting customers, what's the process? We should see that. I would love to see that and understand what happens. You guys are there long before I ever get there. Mm-hmm. We're the last piece of the puzzle when the install happens. What the hell is happening between the inception of the idea to me rolling in there with that? And that's something I think even in markets where it could build relationships. And as I'm saying this, I'm saying, oh, I think I'm going to do this. Reach out to some local consultants and let's get some video stuff going where we could maybe sit down like this or do a LinkedIn Live or a podcast, a chat, whatever it might be, just to start the conversation. Hey, wait, listen, when so-and-so, when you wake up in the morning, what's that first step? What are we doing? Where are we going? Mm-hmm. That I think is super important. And same thing goes for the rep side and the dealer side. I know what you guys do, but I don't see it. It becomes different when you start to see it. If you look at some of my videos, you see my guys in the trenches, turning wrenches, doing installations, taking stuff off trucks, loading trucks. We're doing all these little in-between things that take time and cost money. I think you need to, if we're consultants or watching, get fired up to put out more video content than you ever did, and be willing to include the people in your area that you're doing it with, service companies, reps, and everyone you're working with.
I think that's great. Great advice. Wade says, great ideas for my future episodes of On Tap. I love it. Yeah, I mean, Rich, you said something you gave a talk recently with, who was it?
Performance Reps Northwest. And
there you go.
Partner with FCSI, yeah.
FCSI, okay. And you talked about documenting even small moments in a day. And so, when I think about consultants, they're meeting with architects, they're meeting with end user customers, they're designing, they're behind a computer on CAD or using KCL to design these projects and AutoCAD, all this kind of stuff. All those little moments can be snapshotted to say, hey, here's where we're at, here's where we're going. It's creating that energy, creating that buzz. And yeah. I love that idea. If every trade, if every family, there were people doing that consistently, I think they would understand each other a lot better to some degree, telling that story.
Yes, absolutely. And we were talking about finding new talent. I can tell you right now, guys that I grew up with still don't know what the hell I do. So I can tell you this is a fact. I don't know where the data is, but it's a fact. People don't even know food service design consultants exist. It's not something that's on a guidance counselor map. They're pushing them off to college, right? We have to get active here, and it has to be done collectively together and with consistency. It can't be, I'm going to do it in January and then I'll post again in June. Not going to work. It's not going to work. When you go to work out and you do push-ups and you're doing your ab workouts, if you don't do that consistently every day, year in and year out, it goes away. Your audience is going to go away when you stop. Consistency.
I think consistency is king in building that story. This is a question from Taz. Wade, what do you ask by your customer that FSPN or Fed can help you with? I'll bet there's some cool stuff, tons of ideas. I'm sure we'll all connect. This is fun. I stinking love this. Okay.
And listen, I don't want to give you a little pat on the back. You are doing it consistently. Look at what you have done. End of story. There's nothing else to say. You're doing it. And you're building a freaking big community here. There's big things that are going to come if you keep doing this. Trust me. We're going to be having a much bigger conversation in front of a much bigger audience 365 days from now.
Well, we'll have some fun. I don't doubt it. And I'm, the opportunity, I've been grateful for all of it. Whoa, anyone else hear Rich's service tech rap? I thought you were going to break into a rap, by the way. See my guys in the trenches turning wrenches, Serving customers daily, ballin'. I love that.
I got to write that down.
Yeah, there'll be a replay. There'll be a replay.
I'm coming back.
Okay, this is so rad. Samantha says, "Hey all, what is up, Samantha?" That is so great. Quentin says, "Yes, it was awesome. Must have seen that." Kathy says, "Yes, Jason is super disciplined." You know, the consistency thing is something Rich was talking about early on. A couple of other people I've studied kind of in the world of contributing in a unique way in a digital platform talked about that, the power of consistency and putting something out. And, you know, honestly, for me, every time I go look for a new quote or there's a new message, I mean, what's that? I used to be a teacher. That was my career. I taught history, government, all this kind of stuff. And every time you teach, you learn more than the people you teach. It ingrains it in me. So every time I get to go find a quote that moves me or touches me, I hope it offers something to the group, but it does the same for me. Or every time there's a nightly, you know, power plant tip or tool, it gets deeper into me. And so it's been a real gift. Okay, thanks, Kathy. I love it. You're awesome. Okay, man. Oh gosh, too many questions. Okay, favorite movie that makes you cry?
Favorite movie that makes me cry? What's the favorite movie that makes me cry? I don't know, all of them. I cry to commercials, for Christ's sake. I'm gonna say this. Listen, and I'm not ashamed to admit this. I like romantic comedies. A Walk to Remember makes me cry. The Notebook makes me cry. Armageddon makes me cry. So
me too. Armageddon did when he blows up that asteroid or whatever he's sitting on.
Oh my God! Please, I don't even want to think about it. But
I love it. I mean, you know me. We're both criers, and I would say, here's what I would say to you too: the kind of uniqueness of what we get to do together in this conversation, and likewise, someone called me a few months ago, and it was a friend who I'd been on a board with. And she's a rep in a different part of the country. And she said, I don't know if you guys understand the message and the narrative you're sending around it, offering a different version of masculinity. And where it's not just rough and tough and I'm always in a good place and I'm always winning and, boundaries and barriers and armor. Our buddy Dave Turner with Tabletop Journal would say, your armor. And there's hopefully an opportunity to be real with our stories, the hard stuff, the conversation about your dad and the way your mom invested in you and the things that bring us to tears, both in grief and in joy. And it's okay to be all of those things and continue on trying to give people life and offering something hopeful and run our businesses and be men. And I think you're a great ambassador of that, Rich. And hopefully these kind of questions open the door for people to open up a little bit more of their door in their own life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's one of those things where society has made men to be, we have to be the certain thing. And listen, I think for me, most of us men, we all feel the pain. We all feel the sorrow. We all feel the grief, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to be down. It's okay to take a day and take some time for yourself. We're human. We might be men, but we're human, and it's okay.
I actually I don't do it every day, but a few days a week. For some reason, so I used to cry a lot in my dark days. A lot out of pain and a lot out of grief. And it was like daily grief for almost a decade. Yeah. And then that changed for all, a lot of reasons that I've shared in the past. And now I there's still moments where I have tears out of pain, but most of my tears, believe it or not, are out of joy. And they're out of moments of seeing goodness or seeing someone win. So I search it out. Yes. And for me, like I'll go on YouTube and I'll go look up like The Voice auditions or like America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent. Those are like my things where I watch someone come out of nowhere, right? And they step on stage and people don't know what to expect or they don't expect much. And someone offers this gift that touches us. And I'll watch a couple of those and I'll start, and then I just get in a place. I get in a zone. I get in a position of hope and of creativity and of belief. So I actually look for moments like that now.
I've done the same thing, and you know what it is? Because it's one of those things where you see somebody else and you see they're having greatness in that moment. And I think maybe this for the same thing. You love greatness and you love seeing people find that greatness. Even with sports, when I'm watching, when I'm watching football in the playoffs, when I'm watching these guys and you see these grown men at the end of these games, they're hugging each other, they're crying. I mean, they worked their whole life for that. It's greatness. And the joy of that brings a tear to my eye too. So,
we might be brothers from another mother. This is our friend D, Deirdre Flynn. Appreciate all you both are doing to grow, develop, share. The industry you're going to make me cry, D. The industry's lucky to have you both leading these real conversations. D, you too, our friend. Last week was awesome having you on, being honest and real. And we're glad that we're doing it together.
Absolutely.
It's fun to be able to do it forward facing. Top Gun. I have a feeling that's Taz.
Taz.
Taz. Yeah. That's Taz's make me cry movie for sure. Deborah Hibbs is on. JR is saying Taz Sutherland. Hey, I love it. Okay. I think I know that. Okay. I'm going to ask one more question and then we're going to do our surprise treat for people. And it works great.
I hope so.
In 50 years, Rich, when you're an old dude.
Yes.
When the industry looks back at your career journey and legacy, what do you want them to say about you? That you did what? That you offered what?
That I'll tell you one of the things, one of my dreams before this, at the end of this. So I would say when we look back at all this, and I'm 80, 90 years old, and we're looking back at Rich Malachy, I hope that they think that I gave more than I took. I hope that they see that I wanted people to be better than they were the day before. I wanted them to have opportunities that they never thought existed because they found their way, not just to Malachy, but maybe to the industry through all the stuff that me and you were doing here with the Power Plan and with Fed Nation. That we didn't change the world, but we made our corners of the world a little bit better. That's what I hope at the end of my life, my family and the people that I've come in contact with and that have known me will say about me. And one of the big dreams that I have in saying that is to build community kitchens. So
talk about that.
Just briefly, I'll say, downstairs I kind of redesigned my entire test kitchen downstairs over the last 3-4 months, and starting to come into fruition here. We got the hood up. We're going to be getting another hood up. We're going to be putting in equipment. Not only am I going to utilize that for training, for test kitchen, to open the door to local reps and dealers if they want to come and do demos, no problem. But also being able to sit down with the mayor and find out how I can now utilize this commercial space that I built in my building to put out meals to the community. And this would be the pilot. It's not going to be anything massive or huge, but it's a start. And then if this catches on, I'm going to name it after my grandmother, probably. I'm thinking her name was Angelina, so it'll be like Angelina's Kitchen. And if we could put those all over New Jersey, it might take me 20, 30 years. So be it. I got time. So that's a big piece of my heart right now. I really want to do that. I've been wanting to do that for some time. So again, looking back on this, when we're talking again in 50 years, that Rich did good by people. That's it.
Well, I just know, and you've had people commenting. In fact, I'm feeling some family love right here. I'm guessing this must be your sister.
Uh-oh.
Is Samantha your sister?
Yes.
Proud sister and business partner of Rich.
Yeah.
One of a kind. Oh, freaking love it. You and your sister are close, yes?
Yeah, that's my little sister. So we're 6 years apart. So we growing up, it was one of those things. I was 12, she was 6. I was 18. She was only 12. I was out of high school. She didn't even get there yet. So we kind of, the universe shifted. And by the time she got to be 22, 23, we finally found our way to each other to begin that adult relationship. And it's a great relationship. So blessed.
Super proud of you guys. I love it.
You're gonna make her cry.
This is crying is okay. That's an amazing goal. I think this is about your community kitchen, Sandy saying. Hope to see that come to fruition. Sandy, if I had to go with my gut, I've yet to see anything Rich has dreamt up that he has that hasn't come to fruition. So I think we got a lot of reasons to hope that this will become reality and be another beautiful story for our industry. Kevin
I hope
saying,
so.
thank you again, Jason and Rich. You both found new niches and ways to support our fantastic food service industry. Kevin, thanks for all the love and support and the ways you contribute in the power plant and for the Fed Nation. High five. Boom. Who's this? This is Taz. In 50 years, think how many people have good memories of Jason and Rich that live rent-free in their heads until the day they die.
There you go.
Hopefully they're good. That's the goal, that they're good voices, encouraging and lifting up. Taz, love it. Thanks, brother. Okay, real quick, before we do what's next, how do people find you? Tell them if they want to go find Fed Nation, how do they find that? If they want to find Malachy Parts and Service, where do they go?
It's simple. Go to Facebook and type in Food Equipment Digital Disruptors, or you could type in facebook.com/groups/FedConf, CONF. You can find it very easily. Outside of that, me, Rich Malachy, that's my tagline, at Rich Malachy on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, anywhere you name it, I'm there. And I am always connected. Even at 2 o'clock in the morning, if you message me, well, I probably won't respond at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I'll respond the very next day. So I'm always there. You can always find me. And I listen, and I always tell everyone, do not hesitate. People reach out to me. So if you have anything, and I don't know what that might look like. It might be a question about service. It might want to pick. Sometimes you want to pick someone's brain or an ear to listen. I'm that guy. Just please reach out.
Rich, thanks for offering all you do, your heart, your ear, your passion. You know, the passion reverberates, right? Yeah. And it's impossible to be around a person with passion and not have that rub off on you. And I had a friend and colleague say today, she called me, I answered, she goes, "Are you always like really positive and upbeat?" And I said, "Well, no, not necessarily, but the idea of a power plant is that we generate the energy ourselves. So whatever energy we want in a room or in an experience or in a conversation, I expect it to start from me. That whatever that vibe I want to be, I'm going to be the one willing to start it. And then, and you're doing that. And so from so many,
that's a major leadership quality that you have. And that's something that I try to channel too. When I walk into a room or if I'm going to be given a talk somewhere or talking to employees or techs, if you, like you said, I'm not walking around, positive all day. Oh, my water's still got so much left in it. It's not real life. Yeah. I have my moments. I have my days where I don't even want to get out of bed, but, I think that's the leadership thing. You find it and you do it anyway. And you do what you got to do because you have people counting on you. And people are counting on you in this power plant. So you come every day and you bring it. I guarantee you. Well, I don't guarantee, but I assume there's got to be days you're saying to yourself, I'm not going to go live tonight. I'm not going to do this. But you do it anyway. That's the key here, ladies and gentlemen. When you don't want to do something, you do it anyway. You muster it up. You find it. You channel that energy. You're going to feel better after.
Oh, gosh, yeah. It's in those moments where you don't want to do it where growth happens. And you go on, whether it's working out, whether it's eating well, whether it's caring for someone that isn't easy, whatever that is.
Yes.
Todd Strader's on. This is Todd. I love this. We must help each other. Todd, man, you are a power plant too, brother. You bring crazy energy. Be a consultant for everyone. Man, let's make this happen. Todd, yes. I love it. Yes.
Yes.
This is our friend Kathy. The world would be an easier place if we were all intentional with the energy we put out there. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. If you asked yourself, what kind of experience do I want in this moment? What do I want to be able to feel at the end of it? And then said, I'm willing to be the one that ignites that. If I want this conversation to be a 10, then I'm going to come and I'm going to make it a 10. I'm going to be a 10. And because if you come in to it, Rich, and you're at like a 7, it was a tough day. If I bring a 10, then you're going to come up. You're going to meet me somewhere. And, there's plenty of times, like you said, there's times where you don't want to get out of bed in the morning. There's times where I come into a moment or whatever the time is in life where I'm at a 7 or I'm at a 4 or I'm at a 1. And I find a way to rise myself up and do something. And it doesn't mean I'm not honest or I'm not authentic. There are plenty of moments where I'm with someone or Rich where you and I will talk and I'll say, you know what, it's been a tough week. That's the reality. We're still going to make this conversation life-giving and supportive and dream together. But the reality is it was tough. And so it's good to be able, you can be both. You can be genuine and authentic with where you're at. And you can also choose to make a moment what you want it to be. That way you don't succumb to whatever the day offers you. Who's this? Oh, I love this. Todd, Rich, love you and your vibe. Make it rain. Rich is making it rain. There is no doubt.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I love you too.
Todd, you're the man. Kathy's saying you can only control your own effort and attitude. Let go of the rest. You know it.
That's it. I say all the time, focus on what you can control. People, and I'm not political, but not to even get political, but people are focused on all of these things so far outside their control, and they're letting it consume them. It's taking away from all the good you could be doing. Focus on the stuff you can control on your daily, and be good to people. I'm telling you, it's just a game changer.
Heck yes. The best book I read on, I think it was Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Talk about someone who chose his attitude in the darkest of moments of history and found a way to keep surviving and bringing hope. One of my favorite places to find it. Who cares who gets paid? Pay it forward. That was Todd too, talking earlier about what you were talking about. Love it. Quentin, one can always count on posts from Rich to make the day better. How fun, Dad.
Thanks, Quentin. I always appreciate Quentin's support. He's always a part of the stuff I'm talking about. So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
I love it. Everyone, real quick, we're going to do something special here. We're going to try to make this work, and I think it's going to be fun. Before we go there, let's just say this, and I think I can say this from both Rich and I. Incredibly grateful for you. The communities that we've been allowed to be a part of and participate in one another's lives with all of us this year has been one of the most fulfilling things, I think, probably of both of our professional careers and experiences. And give yourself a pat on the back because you're still doing this thing, right? Create that proud moment. Build that confidence in you that you've got what it takes. We are beyond grateful to be doing it together. I always think of that forest, a lone tree that looks at the hurricane, looks at it coming its way, looks at it very differently than a forest that has a hurricane coming at it. So it feels like a year where we've linked arms and we've said, I dare you, hurricane. You can't take us out. Not if we're doing it together, arm in arm. So know that you're a part of something big and special because we're all doing it together. And there's no one you'd rather be arm in arm with than food service people. Because those are, food service people are lovers. We are the people who take care of others. We're the people that grind and fight and go and believe and hope and connect, etc. So we're glad to be doing it. So just hear that, know that from both of us. We are always better together, Todd says. Goodness gracious. You know it, Todd. Preach. Okay, so one of my funnest things, I am very uncomfortable getting on stage and singing. Epically uncomfortable.
It's not easy.
But from the comfort of my home, when Rich goes on and goes live for the entire world, it's one of my favorite things ever. And Jenny's there kind of emceeing the whole experience typically. And Jenny's giving shout outs to everybody. It is just pure joy to watch you guys offer that to the world. Amen, Todd is saying. This is Todd again. Not only have we linked arms, but we now have sat down at the same cafeteria table. You know it, my friend.
Yes.
We found a way to kind of break bread without actually doing it. We mimicked it, what could happen around a table of many of us, and it's because of the contributions of everyone willing to be honest and open. Yo is on. Hi, Yo. Okay, so we're going to have Brother Rich do a little karaoke. So, Rich,
Yes.
is there a go-to song in this moment? Is there a go-to artist or song that you typically go to, like a favorite Rich Malachy person?
I'm not going to say that there's a favorite, but I feel like in this moment, and for this group to feel it, we do a little Sinatra my way.
Yes.
You all, it's an uplifting, positive song in my eyes. I love it. I just love every lyric in this song. So I'm gonna do my best.
You're gonna rock it, and we cannot wait to join you. If you are watching at home, here's the other thing I'll say: there is science behind singing together, right? It's a lot of time why chanting or choruses or singing in churches and so forth. There's an energy that's created when you sing together. So if you're at home, don't worry. There's no shame. We're not going to hear you. But so fun if you want to sing along with Rich. I bet you'll feel it. And who is this is just the best. Someone's loving it. I love that. Oh, Kathy. So great. Yo says, hi all. Hey, yo. Deborah is in. Deborah, I hope you love belting out your best Sinatra because it is happening tonight.
It's going down. All right.
This is so great.
All right. I'm gonna give it my all here, ladies and gentlemen. You wanna come over here and I'm just gonna pop these off so I won't be able to hear you for a second.
You got it. Oh, it's coming.
Can you? How does that sound? Can you hear me good?
Yeah. There's the echo, but that's probably how it's supposed to be, right?
Check that. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Sounds awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Sandy is saying setting the bar high for future talks. No kidding, it feels that way for sure. Todd, music makes the world go round. Let's do this. Sam she's raising hands. Preach, baby, preach. And says it sounds good.
Yeah, because he won't be able to hear me. This is the audio thing. All right, so, oh, damn it. All right. What's your thing again here?
You guys sound great. Jenny, I don't know if you can hear me, but it sounds great. There's Jenny!
All right, we're going. I'm sorry, everybody. Stay tuned. Here we go.
You're good.
Check. Oh, no.
You got everybody. This is the joy of live. Oh, here we go.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. And more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt,
I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all just so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, no, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For once a man, what has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the thing he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it right. Yes, it was my way.
Yes!
I don't know how that came through or sounded.
It sounded incredible.
I tried.
Buddy, that was beautiful.
I usually do that with at least 3 whiskeys in, so that was different.
Well, good. We got the raw version. Here we go. You got a lot of clapping. Just so you know, you got a lot of hearts. You got a lot of love. Love you guys. This is Todd. Never forget we're in this together. We will succeed.
Yes.
So proud. Sandy's saying high five with the mic and an air. Love it. Someone set off the fireworks or something. Taz, you got more. You got standing ovations coming at you everywhere, my friend.
Well, thank you everyone for all the love. I did what I could.
I love it. Listen, thanks for putting it out there. Thanks for not just your voice right now and lifting us up and offering it. I mean, you were authentic and genuine in our entire hour we spent together. And not just the hour we spent together, but it's just who you are and how you put yourself out there. And that opens the door for people to be that as well. So don't underestimate the power of that. So thank you. And, I think it'd be fun if everyone had the ability to say, you know what, I did it my way. I came out, I offered me. Yeah. I am who I am. And let me offer it to the world, doing it your way. And, the world will be a better place if we keep doing that in the industry. You rocked it. Rich, thank you, my friend, my brother. Love you. We'll keep doing it.
I love
everybody from both of us. Cheers to you. Keep rocking, friends. If you've got someone who needs a community, wants people in food service, needs a safe place to come home, invite them either into the Fed Nation, welcome into that community, welcome them into the food service power plant. You're welcome to invite them in. We'd love to have more people that we can support, lift up, give standing ovations to, celebrate, etc. And everyone, we're going to keep doing this together. So have a great night, great week. We'll see y'all next week. Rich, see you soon, brother.
See you soon. Be kind to everyone.
You got it. We'll do it.